Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria-assumpta and I am a YouTuber based in Nigeria. Please do like this video and share this video with your family and friends because I am about to unload a full pack of information that you need to know before you can start up your own YouTube channel. Yes, this information, they don't fade. They go from year to year and they are very, very important. I never knew this before I started my own YouTube channel, but I want you to know them before you can start yours, okay? Okay. The first thing you need to know before you can start up your YouTube channel is that your personality has a lot to do with your content, okay? In 2024 and moving forward, your personality has a lot to do with your content. Basically, you're not the only one doing this particular content. You're not the only one traveling to these places or teaching this kind of things, or even, vlogging your life or, lifestyle or creating lifestyle content. You're not the only one doing that. But how you tell your story and how you basically live through your day, how you teach these people will differentiate you from every other person. Okay? So when you want to teach, you need to bring in that sense of humor. You need to bring that funny side of you. You need to bring in that little things that make you who you are into your video. Okay, basically, we have different restaurants. They all make bread cake. But what differentiates your bread cake from this other bread cake that will be bought from this other store is how you make it, the process, the little things you add to that bread cake really differentiate it from, the other person's bread cake. So how do you make your content different from someone else's content? Is because you infuse your personality into that content and make it you. When you start watching a video and they will literally suggest some video and tell you that this person's viewers also view this channel, and you go on to watch this video and you're basically seeing that first person in the second person's video, what will you do? You will turn it off because it's like, I'm already seeing the first person. I don't want to see the first person again. I want to see another person in that video. But if they cannot connect with you, then that means that, they will probably stop watching your video. So in 2024 going forward, your personality is needed in literally all type of content. So bring your personality into your content, okay? Okay, the second thing that you have to know is that you need to prioritize your content and its value, the value you're sharing to people, than the equipment that you use. Okay, now let me explain. Right now that I'm filming with basically a phone, a ring light, and just my seat. Nothing on my background. The ring light is not turned on. I'm basically just using it as a phone holder. I'm filming with a natural light. I have limited equipment, but what content am I giving you? I'm giving you a content that will benefit you. I'm giving you something that is of interest to you, something that you will get and it will create more value for you, okay? So that is what you need to look at. What kind of content are you bringing out? Are people actually enjoying this content? Do you have an audience that will listen to you? Now, if you have that, just leave out the equipment and focus on creating a better content for yourself and for your audience, okay? Because you would definitely grow, and maybe you can just get other equipment. Because if I was waiting to get a tripod, maybe a better light, or waiting for the NEPA to bring the light, I won't film a content. But there is no light. I'm basically filming in front of my window and using just the limited equipment that I have already to film my content. That is key. Just focus on creating better value for your audience than just listing out the equipment that you don't have, that if you have them, that you will film, because that will keep dragging you down, okay? Third thing that you need to know that I did not know when I started my own YouTube channel is that whatever you're starting with have grades. So you need to start up with a phone if that is what you have, but then the kind of phone that you're starting with matters, because the type of phone that you're starting with need to have a good audio output, It needs to have a good video quality output. It's not when you're done videoing, you cannot see what you're doing, or you cannot even hear yourself clearly. When you do a voiceover, it's literally not okay. So these things are what you need to put in place, not just starting with what you have, but looking at what you have to see if it can create what you want. Okay, so don't look at the very bulky equipment. Just the things like your audio, your video, and a good lighting can work. Even if it's setting up a maybe DIY light equipment, setting up a DIY tripod, or keeping your phone somewhere to record or something, it can be totally fine. You don't need to have a tripod before you start, yes, but you need to check, where am I placing my phone, or what do I have to create this content? Okay, that is just what you need to know, especially for your audio and your video. What you are starting with, which is the camera, is it okay? Is the lens okay? Is your video output okay? Is the audio okay? If that is all good, then you can start up. Because I kept on watching videos and they say start with whatever you have, just a single video, and they said when we tell you to start with what you have, that doesn't mean that you should start with a phone that has a very bad quality, video quality, or even audio quality, that you can actually get a fairly used camera or a fairly used iPhone. So nobody really tells you what they mean when they tell you start with whatever you have. They just tell you start with whatever you have, but you need to look at what you have, whether it can create what you want, and make situations that can fit into that. Okay, the fourth thing that you need to know before you start up your own YouTube channel that I did not know is that your family and friends, they are not your audience. Okay, they are not your audience. They might not even be interested in what you're doing, so please do not force anybody to subscribe to your channel. Okay, but you can tell them to watch your video when they have time, but don't force them to subscribe to your channel, because they might not be your target audience. They might not be interested in the kind of content that you make. You might be making beauty content, but they are not the beauty girlies or even the beauty kind of people. So just leave them out of your content creation, and let them support you from behind the scenes with whatever they can do, but they are not your audience. You just focus on your target audience and get them. The fifth thing that I would tell you today is that consistency is key, but that your consistency is the goal. That is the game. You can choose to be consistent how many times you want, a month or a week, but you being consistent within yourself is what matters. So you have to check, how many times a week can I show up? Is it 3 times? Is it 2 times? Or is it even once? Or is it even 4 times? Whatever you're consistent with, you need to work with that. But first, you also need to check, what are your competitors' consistency? What is their consistency looking like? Do they post 3 times a week, 2 times a week? Then merge that with your own consistency and see what you can put out every week, so you don't exhaust yourself. You will not have time to create good content, edit very well before you post. You literally do a scattered work and post it online. You need to create amazing content. So because of that, you need to work with your own consistency and not just what the YouTube consistency is all about. Your consistency is what matters, and merging it together with your competitors' consistency, that's key. So the sixth thing I'm going to tell you today is that you should check your environment. Check how your environment is going to influence your content creation. So I'm going to talk about us here in Nigeria. When you want to start creating your own content, you want to check how consistent the NEPA light comes around your area, because obviously we know that there is no constant light in Nigeria. So you need to check that one. You need to check if you have noisy neighbors, when to film and when not to film. You need to check if you have the neighbor's generator on, like I do right now. You need to check that, because those will really affect how your videos turn out, because they create noise, and noise is not needed in videos at all, because they disrupt the attention of the viewer, and they might actually want to click out of your video, which you don't want. The goal is to let them watch to the end of your video. So some of these little things can create, distraction for the viewer. So you want to make sure that you check some of these things before you start creating content. Check around the house if you have somewhere that you can film, and that somewhere that is very, very bright, where check if you can actually do some DIY equipment like lights, like tripod, somewhere that you can really set up. If you can have a DIY background for yourself, just something that works for you. You need to check this all out, because sometimes the YouTubers that you listen to are not living in your area, so they don't know what is happening in your area. They don't know if you have dogs or goats or even chickens around the house that will be making little sounds. So these are things that you need to check out for before you can start creating your own content. Okay, checking all of these will really enable you to know when to schedule filming, when you can edit, when you can do other things. Like around the house, there is a generator on, there are some birds walking around the house right now. You can literally hear their sounds. But if maybe you have a good audio quality, then some of them, it can really maybe cancel them out. But if you don't have a good audio quality, then you maybe want to buy an external mic. Those are the things you need to look out for. Maybe if you don't have a good natural light coming in, you might want to get an artificial light, but you still need to check in with the NEPA lights if they are coming or not, if they are coming through or not. Okay, so these are some of the things you need to check. That doesn't mean that I don't have some of these factors, but this just enables you to know when you will film, or when you will edit, or when you will script. It just makes your work easy. The last thing that I have to tell you today is that if you're going to start creating content on YouTube, then you need to have a plan B. Yes, a plan B. So plan B literally comes in two ways. For me, it is content wise and financial wise. Financial wise is making sure that you have somewhere that you can literally get funds from for your YouTube video. Just let's take for example that you're uploading a video and your data finishes. Where are you going to source money from to get, to buy data to continue uploading? Those are the things you need to figure out. This is one of the smallest ones. It can be that along the way you need to get something, or even a DIY. I mean, DIY, that doesn't mean that you have all of the equipment at home. You might want to actually buy some of these equipment or outsource them, and you need to pay for them, or most of them. Now, how do you pay for these things? That is with your plan B. Because maybe YouTube is not yet paying you, you just have to outsource getting these things. And if you don't have them, that means that you might have to stop posting sooner than later. Now, that is an advice. Get a plan B financially, so you can literally get funds anytime you need them. Because data, YouTube takes a whole lot of data. The next one is a content plan B. I call it content plan B because it is just whatever that you see on your screen. How do you create it? Okay, so you would have to check in with, if this niche is not working, what else should I put out? If this content idea is not working out, what other content idea should I put out? What other things should I try? What other strategies should I put in place? These are all the things you have to think about. It's like, if this thing is not working, get something else that is working. Those are the plans you need to make, before you start. And as you start, you keep building on them. You can just start, then as you go on, you build. But you need to have it in mind that this is something, or this is a phase that you just might have to go through. That if one content is not working, that you want to check in with another content. Okay, we have come to the end of this video, but before I end, I have one bonus tip for you. Before you start recording, especially your sit down videos or videos where you have to teach people, do a 3 minutes prep where you literally just ramble and just talk about anything. Let your personality flow out, and as it's flowing out, start making your video. You just see how very comfortable that you're going to be, because it's going to be like you're talking with your friends, not just with your phone. You're not going to feel awkward at all. That 3 minutes is very, very, very important, and that is my very special tip to all of you that watch to the end of this video. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. And please, if you have not liked this video, please do like this video, because it helps this channel to grow. Also, share this video with your family and your friends, and you can actually share some bits of this video. It can be a screen recording, posting on Instagram, or even on your WhatsApp, telling people about a tip you learned today, so they can come over and watch this video also. And please don't forget to tag me when you repost, okay? And please do subscribe to this channel if you love this video so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.